And looking now in detail at a report this week that has made many headlines and got us asking many questions. It's come out from the guys at EY and it looks at the money to be made and still to be made from Expo 2020 Dubai. Very pleased to be joined in the studio now by Anthony O'Sullivan, who is the Managing Partner for the UAE at EY. Anthony, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Brandy.
So your report suggests that Expo 2020 Dubai will add more than 150 billion dirhams to the UAE economy over 30 years, up to 2042. How do you come to a number like that?
So we look at three different aspects of how the economic impact of Expo flows through. So there's obviously the direct impact, which is, you're building a site, you have contractors on site doing work. That's a direct impact. Indirect impact being the suppliers to those contractors. And then you've got what we call the induced impact, which is by having that economic impact, you have people coming to Dubai, spending money, putting their kids in school here. So there's a multiplier effect from any large project like Expo, which we capture in terms of total value added.
Can we put it in some kind of context against other major events, other expos that other countries have held, Olympics?
Sure. So the interesting thing about this report that we did was that we worked with BIE and the Expo team. And this was the first time that this was done collaboratively from the point at which Expo was awarded to Dubai all the way through now to 1 year after the Expo has been finished. And the reason that the team wanted to do that was for large mega events like Olympics, like World Cups, like Expos. And the impact isn't just the 2 weeks, the 6 months of the event itself. It's the impact of what happens before the event and what our report shows quite interesting, the impact of what happens after the event that is really significant in the success of a project like this.
And that was one of the biggest things that I've taken from this report, the fact that the vast majority of the money that's going to be earned from Expo 2020 Dubai, 62%, will be earned post the event. How so?
So think about the Expo journey. So you had the period prior to Expo where they're building the site, and a lot of that is construction activity. You've got the 6 months of the Expo itself, where you've got 24 million visitors on site. You've got 100,000 people working there every day on site. But that's a 6 month discrete period of time. At the end of that, you've got this amazing infrastructure that's been constructed by Dubai. And then you've got the 15, 20 years after the Expo where that infrastructure gets used for future events, for future visitors, for business hubs that get set up in Expo. So the time after the event provides much more opportunity for value to be realised.
I thought with a lot of these events that a lot of the earning was actually pre the event, in, as you say, building the infrastructure, the roads, the metro lines, the things that cities might already need.
But if you think about the infrastructure that we've got now in Dubai as a result of Expo, we've got an amazing conference venue, which can be used for future events, such as COP, that's happening at the end of this year. 100,000 delegates every day for two weeks, huge event. You've got the business hub that's been set up where a lot of multinationals have based themselves now in the Expo site because they like the attractiveness of the infrastructure that's there. And all of those activities can continue for many years to come. So you've built this amazing facility, which you get value of from years to come.
How much or at all is the real estate play a part of that earnings, the projects that we've seen announced in the last few weeks?
So the real estate is a part of it. So in terms of the residential real estate that they've announced that they're constructing, but it's not the main component of it. The main component of it is still the exhibition centre, the pavilion surrounding that will continue to be used for years to come. That's still the main component of the future value that's coming through Expo.
And how do we break down the jobs that you also say are going to be created before and after of that 30-year span? 1 million job years. What percentage of those were during the event itself and what are still to come?
So roughly 20% was prior to the event, which was obviously the activities in getting the event site ready. Roughly 10 to 11% of that was during the 6 month event itself with people that were working on site. And then around 65% of that is the period that's yet to come through to 2041, which is people that will be working on site through those years, the jobs that will be created through events that will happen at Expo, and the jobs that will be created by businesses relocating their activities to the site. So even in terms of jobs, most of the activity is actually coming after Expo. What
can you tell us then about what the site's going to be used for post-COP?
Sure. So, there's an exhibition centre that's been built there, which will continue to be a location for significant global conferences that Dubai will hope to attract in the years to come. You've got an innovation hub that's been set up there with, again, businesses moving in, offering supports to startups, offering a collaborative environment for businesses to base themselves in. And you've got a recreational space that's been created, which will have, the people of Dubai can go and enjoy the sites there, enjoy some of the pavilions that remain. And as we all know, Dubai is gradually moving out in the direction of Expo. There's always been that urban creep, which we believe will mean that Expo will be even more and more a heart and a hub for Dubai activity for years to come.
Do you have any idea of the scale that urban creep could take? How many residents we could have living out in that area?
So that was built into the model in terms of the people that would be living in the surrounding area and the people that would be using Expo. And certainly the numbers are significant in terms of the amount of activity that will be an Expo site in the years to come compared to what it was historically when that site was just desert.
So how much does this then become part of the play, part of the bidding play for other events, the fact that that infrastructure is already there? And how big could ambitions get when it comes to those events?
Well, it gives you an amazing opportunity because, as I said, COP is coming, and that's 100,000 people a day on site. It gives you the opportunity to have a secure zone in the conference area, exhibition spaces around it. These global events increasingly need to have those facilities already in place, otherwise they don't make economic sense. So the advantage that Dubai has in having made this investment is they've got a tremendous hub that they can use for future such events.
Right, so for the average business person driving to work this morning, 30 seconds left with you, by the way, how do they tap into some of this, 100-odd billion to be made after the event? How do they get a slice?
So I'm sure the Expo City team would be very happy to speak to anybody about the advantages that they have at the site in terms of using it as a hub to set up your business, some of the innovation funds that they've put in place to help attract business, and the logistics advantages of being based in the Expo City. The Expo City team are very keen to leverage on that, and that's part of the legacy that they need to deliver on.
Anthony O'Sullivan is managing partner for the UAE at EY. They're the people who've just put out this new report talking about the money to be made from Expo 2020 Dubai, 62% of which, the majority, is going to be made after the event itself. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio this morning.
Thank you.
Dubai Eye 103.8.
Join the conversation.